AITA for rejecting my bankrupt ex who left me for someone else after taking my money? I am Logan, a 35-year-old man, married to Samantha, a 34-year-old woman for 12 years. We have two great kids, Peyton, 11, and Quinn, 9. We were the typical suburban family living in Virginia. You know the type, nice houses, good jobs, kids in their activities, nothing crazy. I work in medical device sales. It sounds fancy, but I am just a salesman in a more expensive suit. Samantha worked in marketing before deciding to stay home with the kids. Samantha was truly amazing. We met in college. She was this creative, simple girl who made everyone laugh. She had this way of turning an ordinary moment into an adventure. For example, she would pack elaborate picnics for no particular reason or throw mini dance parties in the kitchen while making dinner. For every birthday, every special date, she created incredible photo albums filled with tickets, photos, and little notes about our memories. The kind that makes you feel like the luckiest man in the world. When the kids came along, she poured herself into motherhood with the same energy. She turned their lunches into little works of art. She acted out bedtime stories like theater with different voices for each character. We were not perfect, but we were solid. We had our date nights, our inside jokes. We genuinely loved spending time together. That is where my sister Vanessa enters the picture. She is 2 years older than me and got divorced 3 years ago. Her ex was a real jerk. He cheated on her with a 23-year-old girl from his gym. Since then, Vanessa went into total empowerment mode. Her personality completely changed. She would post these long Instagram captions about finding her authentic self and unleashing her feminine power or whatever. At first, I paid no attention to it. Vanessa was hurting, and if posting quotes from self-help gurus helped her, good for her. But she started spending more and more time with Samantha. A lot more time. And Samantha was starting to get bored. The kids were at school all day, and I could tell she was going in circles. She had always been super creative. She used to make incredible photo albums for the kids. But now, she spent her days scrolling on her phone and watching mind-numbing reality TV shows. Vanessa came over to the house 3 to 4 times a week for their sister sessions. Their words, not mine. They would sit in the kitchen, drink coffee, and talk about unleashing their potential. Vanessa showed Samantha Instagram accounts of women who had built empires from their phones. Most of them sold crystals or essential oils or something like that. My parents thought it was great too. My mom would say, "It is so nice that the girls are getting closer," and my dad would nod because that is what he does. Even my in-laws thought it was great that Samantha was finding her passion. No one saw what came next. Samantha started talking differently. Everything was about abundance energy. She joined mompreneur Facebook groups and stayed up late at night watching YouTube videos on how to grow her business. One night, she came to me all excited with this idea to make special soap. Not normal soap, spiritual soap with crystals inside. She had a whole plan to target the wellness community. And you know what? I thought it was a good idea. Samantha is creative, she is good at marketing, and people are crazy about this spiritual stuff right now. Plus, I wanted to support her. My dad always told me that a good husband supports his wife's dreams. So, I went all in 100%. I spent a few weeks helping her get started. I used my sales experience to set up her website, buy her supplies, and I hired a tech guy to set up the inventory and payment system. It cost us about $3,000 to start, but I figured it was worth it to see her excited. Vanessa came over all the time now, helping her with her social media. She took pictures of the soap, surrounding it with crystals and flowers. They used these special lights I had bought. Samantha started calling herself a craftpreneur. Just writing it makes me want to cringe. But whatever. The first few months were really great. Samantha was happy. The house was always clean because she wanted good backgrounds for her soap photos, and she was always very present for the kids. She even let them help create the products, choose the scents, the colors. It was cute. Our friends were super supportive. They all bought soap. Samantha went to craft fairs and sold quite a bit. She put together gift boxes with different soaps and crystals, and people loved them. The local yoga studio even started selling her products. I was really proud of her. I told everyone how amazing she was, how she had built her business from scratch. Vanessa told everyone she was Samantha's mentor, which she was not. All she had done was show her how to use Instagram filters. Even my mom bought 20 soap gift sets to give to her church friends. But looking back, obviously, everything seems obvious. It was just the calm before the storm. For about 6 months, the business was doing really well. Samantha was making between $5,000 and $6,000 a month selling her spiritual soaps. I admit I was impressed, but that is when things started getting weird. It started slowly. Samantha got invited to a women in business conference in Chicago. The ticket cost about $800 for the weekend, but she was excited and the business could afford it. So why not? Obviously, Vanessa went with her because heaven forbid Samantha do anything without her mentor. They came back different, like they had joined a business cult. Suddenly, everything was about scaling and building your empire. Samantha started buying online courses on maximizing your feminine business energy. I am not even joking. Vanessa was around even more, and she spent hours planning her rise to CEO status of a soap company operating out of our garage. Then our routines changed. Samantha always used to make dinner before. She was a great cook, but now she was too busy manifesting abundance to do mundane human things. Direct quote. I started having to pick up takeout on the way home from work because apparently cooking lowered her CEO energy. The kids started noticing. Peyton had a big basketball tournament, and Samantha missed it because she was taking a master class on Instagram Reels. Quinn's teacher called because she was not doing her homework anymore. Actually, Samantha was too busy with her business strategy sessions to check anything. Our garage turned into a soap factory. We could not even park our cars in there anymore because it was filled with drying racks and supply boxes. The house constantly smelled like essential oils and sage because apparently, you have to cleanse your soap inventory to attract good business energy. I tried talking to her about it. Like, maybe we should find a balance. She looked at me like I had just told her the earth was flat. Logan, you do not understand. This is not just a business, it is a movement. We are helping women unlock their spiritual potential through mindful cleansing. I wish I could say I am making this up, but no. Vanessa was absolutely no help. She was there almost every day encouraging all this nonsense. Samantha, you are a visionary. You are going to be the next big thing in wellness. Because yes, what the world needs is another overpriced wellness brand. The expenses got crazy too. Samantha started buying overpriced office furniture for her CEO space, meaning the guest room. Like, she spent $1,200 on a luxury chair because according to her, CEOs in abundance need seating in abundance. She hired a business coach to help her step into her power. She started going to all these networking events and seminars. Our joint account was draining because of all her business expenses. When I tried to bring it up, she got defensive. I am investing in our future. You should be grateful I am bringing in money. Most men would dream of having a wife who is building an empire. The worst part, our friends and family kept encouraging her. My mom shared her Facebook posts. My dad told me I should be proud to have such an entrepreneurial wife. Even my friends told me, bro, she is crushing it. You should be happy. But they did not see what was happening at home. The girls were eating cereal for dinner because their mom was too busy doing Instagram lives about mindful soap making. The house was a mess, except when she was filming content. She started missing parent-teacher conferences because they fell during her mastermind sessions. One night, I found Peyton in tears in her room. She got an A on her science project and wanted to show Samantha. But Samantha was too busy filming soap-making tutorials to look at it. That hit me hard. What happened to my wife who used to marvel at every little thing our kids did? I tried everything to get her interested in something else. I booked a weekend at this beach resort she loved. She canceled at the last minute for an urgent strategy session. I signed her up for this fancy cooking class she used to love. She left halfway through because she had to realign her business energy. I even tried getting her back into doing activities with the kids like before. Remember the incredible photo albums she made for their birthdays? Well, no. Apparently that limited her entrepreneurial potential. Who talks like that? When I said the kids were sad about not spending time with her anymore, she looked at me condescendingly and blurted out, "Men often try to dim a woman's light when she starts shining too brightly." Oh right, there it is. I am intimidated by your magic soap business that is taking over our garage and destroying our family. I was really starting to hate all this spiritual jargon. So at this point, she was still making a decent living but spending it all on her weird courses and coaching. And that is when Derek showed up. This guy, where to begin? She met him at an entrepreneur conference in Washington, D.C. She came home talking about this amazing business coach who had revolutionized the spiritual products industry or whatever. According to his Instagram, which I checked later, he was some sort of business guru who helped heart-centered entrepreneurs grow their divine business. I am not making this up. That is exactly what his bio said. Derek looked like every cliché business coach, a blue suit that was too tight, an ultra-white smile, constant photos of him working in exotic locations. The epitome of a douchebag. But Samantha, oh man, she was fascinated. First red flag, the price of his program. He wanted $15,000 for 6 months of coaching. $15,000 to teach someone how to sell soap. I almost fell out of my chair, but Samantha had already paid the deposit with the business funds before even telling me about it. It is an investment in our future, Logan. Derek has helped other spiritual entrepreneurs reach 7 figures. That was her refrain. She showed me testimonials from clients who said he had helped them manifest abundance and blah blah blah. The coaching started with weekly Zoom calls, inevitably in the evening because soap strategy can only be discussed after 8 in the evening apparently. Samantha got ready as if she were going to a fancy dinner, full makeup, a nice dress for a Zoom call about soap. Then there were the intensive strategy sessions, in person this time. Always in luxury hotels or upscale cafes, never in a normal office. And it always ended late at night. Vanessa, always glued to her side, thought Derek was a genius. Oh my gosh, Samantha, he is such a visionary. He totally understands the divine feminine energy of your brand. She helped Samantha get ready for her sessions like it was her prom. The girl started asking questions I could not answer. Why is mom getting dressed up to talk about soap? Why is she going to meetings, but not to my dance recital? Quinn's teacher contacted me again. Samantha had missed another parent-teacher conference. Apparently, she had a strategic emergency with Derek. The breaking point for me was when Peyton got sick at school. She had a fever and needed to be picked up. I was right in the middle of a huge project and could not leave. I called Samantha, went straight to voicemail. I texted her, nothing. I ended up calling Vanessa, who told me Samantha was in a session with Derek and could not be disturbed. I had to make up an excuse at work and go pick up my daughter because my wife was too busy with her coach to take care of our sick child. When I brought it up to her that night, she acted like I was being unreasonable. Logan, Derek says a real CEO has to make tough choices. You are not thinking with abundance. Meanwhile, the business was declining. Samantha was spending so much time scaling that she neglected the soap itself. Orders were arriving late. Customers were complaining about the quality, but she did not care. She was planning her ascent to 7 figures. I started documenting everything, the missed appointments with the kids, the coaching evenings, the money spent on Derek. Something was wrong. I also started monitoring her schedule more closely. The coaching sessions were becoming more frequent, always at odd hours. She would come home late smelling like overpriced men's cologne, not the essential oil she usually used. I am not proud of what happened next, but I started looking at our bank statements. I found transactions at hotels near their meeting places, the kind that suggested these were more than just business meetings. But I did not have solid proof yet. A part of me did not want to believe it. Maybe there was an explanation that would not destroy our family. Then on a Tuesday afternoon, I got a text from Peyton that changed everything. Dad, Mom is with the coach at the mall. They were in a compromising situation. Quinn will not stop crying. Please come get us. That text from Peyton shattered my whole world. My daughters, 11 and 9 years old, had just seen their mother in an inappropriate personal situation with another man right in the middle of a Starbucks. They were supposed to be having a fun day at the mall with their friend's mom. Instead, they witnessed their mother destroy our family right in front of them. I rescheduled my hospital appointments and went to pick them up. The whole ride, Quinn kept repeating, "Why was Mom with that man like that? How do you answer that?" Peyton did not say anything, which was almost worse. The drive home felt like it took an eternity. I could only think of one thing. I had literally wrapped this nightmare with a pretty bow. The $3,000 to launch her business, the lights for the soap photos, the inventory system. I had been so proud to be the understanding husband, the one who supports his wife, the one who helps her follow her passion. What a joke. I had actually funded front row seats to watch my own marriage explode. Every word of encouragement, every "you can do it, honey," every dollar invested. It was like I had built the stage on which she would later act out her betrayal. The steering wheel creaked under my grip as I fought the urge to smash something. What a supportive husband I had been. So busy congratulating myself for helping my wife start a business that I had not seen, she was starting an entirely different one with Derek. Once we got home, I sent the girls to their room. They did not need to witness what was coming next. They had already seen enough of their parents' failures for the day. I waited, pacing the kitchen like a caged animal, staring at that damn text from Peyton over and over again. 11 words that had just wiped out our family. Samantha came home around 7 o'clock, almost dancing as if she had just won the lottery. Her cheeks flushed, her hair a bit messy. I knew why now, wearing a brand new flashy outfit I had never seen. She started babbling about her amazing day, how Derek had helped her unlock her next level of abundance. She did not even notice the girls were not there. Not a single where are the girls. She just kept going, thrilled, talking about her wonderful day of business development. I did not speak. I just stood there, my arms shaking with frustration, phone in hand with Peyton's text displayed. I watched her face put on a whole performance. First, the confused puppy look, head tilted as if she was trying to decipher hieroglyphs. Then the flash of panic when she understood. "Oh, Logan," she laughed. She actually laughed. The girls had a hard time interpreting what they saw. You know how kids are. Always imagining things. I stared at her, my jaw so tight my teeth were going to shatter. "Honey, do you not understand?" she insisted, slipping into spiritual guru mode. Derek and I were simply doing an intensive energy alignment session. Energy alignment? I raised my voice firmly. My voice echoed against the kitchen walls. "Is that what you call crossing a serious line with your business coach at the mall? In front of our daughters?" She rolled her eyes. She dared to roll her eyes as if I were a caveman incapable of understanding. "My God, Logan, you are so traditional. This is a modern professional relationship. Derek and I have a deep spiritual connection. I am actually setting a powerful example for our daughters. Female empowerment, following your truth." Something inside me snapped. I hit the counter hard in frustration, making everything rattle. The phone bounced and slid across the granite. I heard something crack, either the screen or my last nerve. Samantha, she was fixing her hair as if we were talking about the weather. "You are the problem, Logan. You have always held me back from reaching my full potential. You do not understand what Derek and I are building." I had never wanted to flip a table so badly. 12 years of marriage and my wife was standing in our kitchen using our microwave as a mirror, justifying her betrayal as a feminist business strategy. While our daughters were upstairs, heartbroken because their mother was too busy manifesting her truth to remember she had a family. "You are right," I said, my voice ice cold. "I do not understand. I do not understand how you could do this to our kids. I do not understand how you can destroy our family for a guy like Derek. And I really do not understand how you can fix your hair while our daughters are crying upstairs." She kept humming to me about my negative energy and how I was blocking her abundance. That is when I knew. The woman I had married was dead, replaced by this spiritual soap CEO monster. I called Vanessa right after. Guess what? She knew. For weeks. My own sister was covering up Samantha's inappropriate relationship. She would tell me Samantha was at business workshops while she was in hotels with Derek. Vanessa's response: "Samantha is living her truth. She is stepping into her feminine energy. What kind of circus is this?" After that argument, I drove for hours. Impossible to go home. Impossible to look at my kids. Impossible to comprehend how my life was disintegrating. When I finally came back, my parents' car was in the driveway. Great. I walk in and stumble upon the classic drama scene. Samantha at the table, crying her fake tears. My mom holding her like a wounded angel, my dad standing there, useless, and Vanessa, obviously, pacing back and forth like a cheap lawyer ready to state her objection. "How dare you?" Vanessa yelled, charging at me. She shoved me with both hands. "You controlling, selfish jerk. Samantha is building an empire and you want to destroy her because you cannot handle a strong woman." I grabbed her wrist before she could hit me again. "Do not touch me, Vanessa. Not after what your friend did to my daughters today. Let go of your sister." My mom yelled, still coddling Samantha. "Your precious Samantha crossed a serious line with her business coach at the mall. In front of my daughters, in front of your nieces. Vanessa, you want to defend that?" Vanessa snatched her hand back roughly. "It is a professional relationship. You would not understand the deep connection entrepreneurs develop. Your marriage is so primitive and traditional." Primitive. I was done. "You want to talk about primitive? Let's talk about you covering up her betrayal, about you making up excuses when she missed the kids' events, about you lying about her whereabouts. Tell me, Vanessa, how many hotel rooms did you book for their business meetings? Samantha's head snapped up. Vanessa turned pale. Bingo. Yeah, I know about that too. You think I do not see the receipts, the hotel bills, the business dinners? What kind of aunt helps destroy her niece's family? You are twisting everything. Vanessa screamed now, exactly like Chris did with me. Do not ever compare me to your ex. Chris cheated on you, remember? You forgot that part, and now you are helping Samantha do the same thing to me. What happened to your cheaters are trash, Vanessa? Does that only apply when it suits you? Mom intervened. Do not speak to your sister like that. No, let him speak, Vanessa said, getting right in my face. Let him show everyone why Samantha needed to find support elsewhere. You are pathetic, you know. You are scared of your wife's success. You cannot handle her dreams. I cannot ignore that she is involved with her business coach. I cannot pretend it is normal when my kids have to see their mother with another man. Explain to me, Vanessa, what exactly should I handle better? That is when we heard crying from upstairs. Quinn. Vanessa tried to push past me to go up the stairs, probably to play the caring aunt. I grabbed her arm. Stay away from my kids. You lost that right when you helped their mother betray their father. They need their mother, Vanessa spat. And then, Peyton's voice from the top of the stairs froze everyone. Our mother does not take care of us anymore. She takes care of Derek. And Aunt Vanessa helps her. We are not stupid. Vanessa's face looked like someone had slapped her. Good, I hope it hurt. The rest of the evening became a blur, screaming, accusations, Vanessa's feminist buzzwords thrown around like confetti. But that moment when she realized the girls knew what she had done, that was almost worth all the rest. A week passed. Samantha was still at my parents' house, playing the victim. Then she apparently went to Vanessa's place because Vanessa was stopping by the house every day trying to convince the girls to go see their mom. They refused. That is when things got ugly. Instead of rushing to a lawyer, I played it smart. I moved our money faster than Samantha could say manifest abundance. I opened a new account and started managing our finances like the business she always wanted to run. Funny how she was much less enthusiastic about her abundant entrepreneurial energy when it came to paying the bills for it. The look on my parents' faces when they accused me of being cruel for abandoning the mother of my children. Magical, until I dropped the folders of evidence on their kitchen table. Hotel receipts, payments for coaching sessions, time-stamped photos, everything. My dad, who has the emotion of a decorative stone, blurted out, well, damn. For him, that is the equivalent of a 3-hour speech. Meanwhile, Samantha's soap empire was crumbling faster than her crystal-infused soap bars in hot water. Remember all those posts where she manifested a 7-figure business? Yeah, manifestation or not, bills do not pay themselves. Who knew? Late orders were piling up. Customers were demanding refunds, and her spiritual community was starting to see clearly through her rose quartz-tinted glasses. That is when I got creative. And by creative, I mean perfectly honest. I started leaving honest reviews about her products. No rage, no drama, just facts. Order number 127 never received. Multiple emails ignored. Refund requested or inconsistent product quality. Crystals fall out after one use. Not as described. Simple, right? Apparently, I was not the only one holding things back. Once someone spoke up, the others followed. It was like watching a row of dominoes collapse, if the dominoes were overpriced soaps. The yoga studios that stocked her products disappeared. The Instagram influencers she paid to promote her sacred cleansing journey, they ghosted faster than a Tinder match when they find out you are not a crypto millionaire. Her wholesale accounts dried up. Then Derek, our guru in the too-tight suit, completely vanished when the coaching payments stopped. Who would have thought that a guy asking $15,000 to teach people how to sell soap was not actually invested in their spiritual journey? As soon as Samantha could not pay anymore, he evaporated. No more late-night sessions, no more urgent meetings, nothing. And the best part, I did not have to do anything except watch. No screaming, no arguing. Just the sweet sound of reality finally catching up with the delusion. Vanessa tried to put out the fire. Poor thing, she was posting long Instagram monologues about weathering storms and rising from adversity faster than Samantha was burning sage. But here is the thing about reality. It does not give a crap about your hashtags. Samantha could not even pay her phone bill anymore. She who literally lived glued to her phone, always nurturing her community and building her audience. Now, she could not even pay the bill. Vanessa was not faring any better. Apparently, covering up your friend's inappropriate relationship and encouraging her business fantasies does not pay either. Who knew? The landlord finally evicted them both when their rent checks bounced harder than their abundance mindset against economic reality. You want the definition of karma? Watch two boss babes realize that their manifestation journals do not manifest rent money. With nowhere to go, Samantha, our spiritual soap queen, showed up at her parents' house. Her CEO energy deflated like a week-old balloon. Her parents, her biggest fans until then, had seen enough evidence to understand that their daughter was not exactly living her authentic truth, unless that truth involved hotel rooms with Derek. They flat out rejected her, and frankly, seeing my ex-in-laws choose reality over their daughter's delusion was like seeing pigs fly on unicorns. But wait, it gets better. Vanessa, the high priestess of feminine power, the root of all this chaos, she went back to her ex. Yes, that ex. The same one she had been insulting for 3 years on Instagram. The man who dimmed her light and oppressed her feminine energy. Suddenly, he was her stable rock and proof that love conquers all. The mental gymnastics she did to justify that deserved an Olympic medal. Her Instagram went from men are trash to sometimes the universe brings souls back together for a reason faster than you can say hypocrite. She even published a 12-part series on forgiveness and growth, while conveniently forgetting all the posts where she depicted him as Satan in business casual. Meanwhile, Samantha ended up in a tiny one-bedroom apartment that looked like the failed merger of a soap warehouse and a crystal shop, boxes of unsold goods everywhere. We are talking about piles of spiritual soap from floor to ceiling that nobody wanted. The same products she swore would make her a millionaire now served as an overpriced air freshener. The irony that she was surrounded by cleaning products while her life was such a mess was perfect. After a month, I heard that these two geniuses had decided their next step would be to launch a spiritual coaching business. Because obviously, the best time to coach others is right after you have miserably failed at everything yourself. Unsurprisingly, nobody was buying what they were selling. When people have seen you crash your soap empire, they do not really want to pay you for life advice. Their social media engagement plummeted faster than their credibility, which was already somewhere in the Earth's core at this point. While all that was collapsing, I was focused on one thing, legally detaching myself from this chaos and taking care of my daughters. I found myself a lawyer of the type who eats entrepreneurial energy for breakfast. The evidence file I gave him was thicker than Samantha's manifestation journal. All the bank statements, every delusional expense, meticulously documented. You should have seen Samantha try to play the victim in court. She pulled out all the stops. The instant tears, the speech about sacrificing her brilliant marketing career for our family, forgetting she had quit that job to sell magic soap, and the demands for alimony, so she could spiritually find herself. My lawyer cut that off faster than Derek cut his calls when the money stopped coming in. Then came the custody battle, or rather the attempted battle. Samantha wanted joint custody, probably to get child support to fund her next spiritual venture. But here's the thing about kids. They see right through the nonsense. Peyton and Quinn, bless them, stood before the judge and basically said, no thanks to living at mom's full time, recounting the missed events, the neglect, Derek. It was harder than watching the soap empire crumble. The judge's verdict, sweeter than the validation of a Reddit post. I got primary custody. Samantha got supervised visits. Apparently, the courts do not take too kindly to parents who choose business coaching sessions over picking up a sick child from school. Financially, let's just say Samantha's abundance did not translate into real assets. Once the papers were signed, I swear I lost 150 pounds of dead weight instantly. It is crazy how letting go of a soap entrepreneur can free you. It has been about a month since the divorce was finalized. I had settled into a nice routine with the kids. Peyton joined the basketball team. Rumor has it that when your mom actually shows up to your games, it makes you want to play. And Quinn brought her grades up since we started checking her homework again. The house finally smelled like a normal house, not like whatever divine prosperity sage and lavender was supposed to be. Then on a Tuesday night around 9 in the evening, there is a knock at my door. Not a real knock, more like a sad, pitiful tap-tap that screams. I hit rock bottom, and then I kept digging. I open it. Samantha is there. She looked like she had just lost a fight against a Sephora store and a self-help aisle. Her Power Woman suit was gone, replaced by leggings that had clearly seen too much life. Her abundant entrepreneur makeup, a washed-out look after a sleepless night. The transformation from spiritual business goddess to reality-struck woman was almost artistic. Logan, she sniffled, trying to give her voice that tone that used to work. I do not want to be an entrepreneur anymore. I burst out laughing because congratulations, she had finally understood what literally everyone else had figured out months ago. But I stood there, wondering if Mercury was still in retrograde or whatever astrological excuse she was using. Oh, I could not resist. So, building an empire is no longer your life's mission and the strong, independent woman speech? She attempted a sad little smile, as if we were sharing an inside joke. But jokes only work when both people are laughing. And I was not laughing. I made a mistake, she admitted, her voice cracking like her business model. I let myself get carried away and I raised my hand. The same hand that once helped her pack the soaps, that wiped our daughter's tears when they did not understand why mom missed another school event. Stop. You did not just make a mistake, you burned everything down, and you did not just hurt me. You hurt our kids. Her face crumbled like one of her artisanal soap bars left in the rain. I do not know what to do anymore. I had a flash of all those nights with Quinn crying because her mother was aligning her business chakras instead of reading a story. Of all the games, Peyton looked for Samantha's empty seat because she had a strategic emergency with Derek. Figure it out, I said, stepping back. That is what CEOs do. No. And I closed the door. Through the grapevine from my mom, who obviously still talks to everyone, I heard that Vanessa is still with her ex, probably writing LinkedIn posts about coming full circle and divine timing. My parents and I, we are mostly okay now. We do Sunday dinners. But there is this unspoken thing. We pretend the past year never existed. Trust, sometimes it does not grow back. Me, I am doing fine. I started dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee dates with normal women who do not think crystals can fix everything. Peyton and Quinn are doing great. Amazing how kids thrive when the parent actually parents. Who would have thought? The garage is finally cleared of all that soap inventory. I donated most of it to a shelter, but I kept one. It sits on my desk at work. A kind of weird purple block with a crystal stuck in it. When I am having a bad day, I look at it, and I tell myself, at least I am not trying to build a spiritual soap empire. Sometimes the best revenge is not revenge. It is simply living well and keeping a ridiculous bar of soap as a reminder that reality always wins in the end, even against the most powerful abundant energy. And there you have it, Reddit, how my marriage dissolved faster than a soap in hot water. At least you can say it was a clean break, right? I am out. Comment. I really appreciate you watching this story with me today. It reminded me how important it is to recognize our self-worth in any relationship. Never be afraid to set clear boundaries when something no longer feels right. Taking responsibility for your peace and your family's well-being is a sign of true strength. Healing takes time, but choosing yourself every day makes the journey worth it. Be kind and patient with yourself while you rebuild after difficult times. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away to protect your inner peace. I hope this encourages you to reflect on the relationships in your own life. Your happiness and self-respect are always worth protecting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. If you like the stories, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.